walked down the street I used to walk down nightly, and found that 3 of the places I knew were gone. The bar where I spent my early 30s drinking, the coffee shop where I wrote that whole year on and on, a phone repair place now, and a chain of something, and a door that's locked with no explanation given. The city didn't ask me before it changed. It just changed while I was busy being driven. The city I live in is not the city I moved to. They share the map but not the inventory. The bars and the coffee shops and the particular corners are a different city with a different story. The city changed while I wasn't looking. While I was living in it, it moved on. The city changed while I wasn't looking, and some of what I loved of it is gone. The particular places where I put my years, the walls that held the versions of who I was. The city changed while I wasn't looking, the way everything does. I stood outside the door of what was the bar for longer than a man should stand outside a phone repair place, trying to remember exactly what it looked like, trying to put the tables back in the space. A woman came out of the phone place with a phone. She gave me the look you give a confused man. I moved along and let the phone place be the phone place, and held the bar the way that memory can. The city I remember lives inside me. The physical one changed while I was in it. The bar I spent my early 30s in lives in the me that spent those years within it. The city changed while I wasn't looking. While I was living in it, it moved on. The city changed while I wasn't looking, and some of what I loved of it is gone. There's a grief in the changing of the city that catches me in unexpected corners. The place that held a chapter of the living is now a place that holds someone else's mornings. And that's the nature of the city, and the nature of the living in a place. The city belongs to whoever's in it now, and memory is how we hold our space. The city changed while I wasn't looking, and I keep walking through it, finding what's still there, and letting go of what has changed around me. While I was living here, the city changed while I wasn't looking. Still mine, still home, different map, same belonging. quiet used to frighten me in my early years. I filled it constantly with noise and movement. At 20, the quiet felt like the absence of the living. At 50, the quiet is its own particular improvement. On the noise, the quiet is the thing I seek now. The quiet is what the Thursday is for. The particular quiet of the bar before the crowds is what I drive across the city for. Getting comfortable with the quiet took the entire first half of my life. Getting comfortable with the quiet was harder than the noise and the strife of the doing, of the constant filling of it. Getting comfortable with the quiet is the thing the years have given me. Getting comfortable with the quiet is the specific kind of free that the younger me couldn't have imagined, couldn't have wanted. Even getting comfortable with the quiet is the particular even of the life at 50. After the decades of the learning, getting comfortable with the quiet is worth every year of the earning. I sit at this bar sometimes in the quiet hour before the crowd arrives on Friday evening, and feel the particular quality of the bar before it fills, the particular kind of breathing that the bar does before the Friday crowd. The bar breathing in the quiet. Getting comfortable with the quiet is knowing the bar without the riot of the crowd, knowing the actual bar, the bar in its own particular quiet before the Friday hour. Getting comfortable with the quiet showed me what was underneath the noise. Getting comfortable with the quiet showed me the most particular joys. Our quiet ones are the bar before the crowd ones. Getting comfortable with the quiet is the thing the years have given me. Getting comfortable with the quiet is the specific kind of free. I've been thinking about the years of the filling, the constant filling of the quiet with the noise. Getting comfortable with the quiet is the particular poise that comes when you run out of the things to fill it with. Getting comfortable with the quiet is the most particular gift of the later years, of the particular later years. Getting comfortable with the quiet is the least expensive of the years in terms of what I needed to be comfortable. Just the quiet, which was always there. Getting comfortable with the quiet was learning to be there in it. with it. Getting comfortable with the quiet, still getting there. Still the bar before the Friday, still the best hour, still the quiet, still mine. Still mine.
There's an alley behind the building that I live in that no one really uses in the day. I go there sometimes late on evenings when I need the particular of a way. Has a particular smell of brick and old things, and a single light above the exit door. The kind of alley that the city has been making for 100 years or more. The alley behind the building is my open secret. The alley behind the building is where I go to keep it. Whatever it is I'm carrying on a given evening, the alley holds it without asking why. The alley behind the building is where I go to try. I've stood out there in every kind of weather, the cold, the heat, the rain, and the between. I've worked through things that needed the outside, in a place that keeps me from being seen. Once another resident came out for the same reason. We looked at each other and both looked away. We understood the purpose of the alley and went about our respective alleyway. The alley behind the building is my open secret. The alley behind the building is where I go to keep it. Whatever it is I'm carrying on a given evening, the alley holds it without asking why. The alley behind the building is where I go to try. Their inside things and give them a little time not grand, it's just necessary. The brick and the single light and the smell of old. The alley behind the building is the margin where I write the things that can't be told. The alley behind the building has kept more than it knows. The alley behind the building is where the private goes to stand in the open for a moment before it goes back inside. The alley behind the building is where I reside. The alley behind the building at night. The brick, the light, the going back in when it's done. There's a particular kind of dark that doesn't hide the things. It reveals them in the most particular light of the evening and what it brings to the surface. The honest dark is the dark that shows the actual. The dark of the bar on a Thursday is the most particular kind of factual version of the light. The honest dark is where the real things happen. The honest dark is where the particular kind of captain of the self comes out to navigate. The honest dark is the most particular kind of late hours honesty. The honest dark is the bar after midnight. The honest dark is the particular kind of right light for the actual conversation, the actual version of the self. The honest dark is where the life comes off the shelf of the performance and becomes itself. The honest dark is the most particular kind of wealth of the evening hours. I've been living in the honest dark for the decades of the bar life. The honest dark is where I've had the most particular kind of life. Conversations, the most particular kind of real. The honest dark at the bar on Thursday is the most particular kind of deal made with the self about the actual. The honest dark is the bar's most particular gift. The honest dark is the most particular kind of lift into the actual, away from the perform. The honest dark is the bar after midnight. The honest dark is the particular kind of light for the actual conversation. The honest dark is the channel name. The honest dark is the particular claim we're making everyone who comes to the bar at the particular hour, for the particular dark that shows the actual rather than the perform. The honest dark is here every Thursday, every evening at the bar, at the particular hour when the light goes low and the actual comes through. The honest dark. Welcome, welcome. The life that turned out different from the imagined is the only life I have. And I've been spending the recent years in the most particular kind of self, of the gratitude for the actual. The life that turned out different from the imagined is the most particular kind of factual gift of the years. The life that turned out different from the imagined is the most particular kind of real. Turned out different from the imagined is the most particular kind of deal made between the self and the actual. The life that turned out different from the imagined is better in the ways that matter most. The life that turned out different from the imagined has the particular kind of host of the actual rather than the performed, of the found rather than the planned. The life that turned out different from the imagined is the most particular kind of land. I've arrived at, after all the journeys, the life that turned out different from the imagined is the most worth the learnings. The imagined life at 25 was so particular and so certain. The life that turned out different from the imagined pulled back every particular curtain on the imagined and replaced it with the actual. The life that turned out different from the imagined is the most particular kind of factual version of the possible. The life that turned out different from the imagined is the most particular kind I found. Particular kind of ground arrived at rather than planned. The life that turned out different from the imagined is better in the ways one at 25 that seemed so certain, the life that turned out different from the imagined has its own particular curtain rising on the actual. The life that turned out different from the imagined is the most particular kind of contractual agreement between me and the years that the years won. And I'm glad they won. The life that turned out different from the imagined is this, exactly this. The bar on Thursday, the particular drink, the particular people, the particular people, the particular walk home, better than the imagined in every particular way. I could tell you about the year everything changed, but it would take longer than a conversation allows. It started somewhere in the back of a February, and by December I was someone different now. The things that changed were not the obvious ones. The address didn't change, the job stayed mostly, but the inner arrangement shifted in a fundamental way that changed the outside too, though mostly slowly. The year everything changed is not the year I'd have chosen. The year everything changed arrived without my knowing that it was going to be the one that mattered more than most of what had come before. The year everything changed opened up a door. I met someone who said a true thing at the wrong time, which is always when the true things land the best. I read something I've read before, but differently, and came away different from the rest. I lost something I thought was necessary, and found that its absence made a clearing, and in the clearing something else was possible that hadn't been possible for the non-clearing. The year everything changed is not the year I'd have chosen. The year everything changed arrived without my knowing that it was going to be the one that mattered more than most of what had come before. The year everything changed opened up a door. I can tell
distance now between before and after, the way you can in a life if you look straight. Some years are the same years, slightly differently experienced. And some years are the years that relocate you from where you were into where you're going, from the person you had settled for as you, into the actual possible version of the life you didn't know you'd walk into. The year everything changed, I resisted it fully. The year everything changed, I gave in to it slowly, and found on the other side a version of myself that I could actually live inside. The year everything changed is my favorite year in pride. Oh, the year everything changed. I don't know which year you'll call yours, but you'll know it when it comes. You'll know it when it's through. The year everything changed will come for you.
We've been growing old at the same bar for a long time. The two of us at the same end of the counter. Neither of us said it was a habit. We just both kept showing up at the particular encounter. The same Thursday, in the same place, growing old at the same bar together, is the particular kind of grace, of the unspoken friendship, of the particular kind of known, without the particular words of the knowing. Growing old at the same bar together is the most particular kind of alongside. Growing old at the same bar together is the most particular kind of inside. The particular years without the particular agreement. Growing old at the same bar together is the kind of friendship that bars make. Growing old at the same bar together is the particular kind of stake, in the same place, over the same years. Growing old at the same bar together is the most particular kind of clears the particular loneliness of the individual year. Growing old at the same bar particular kind of here. We both are again. We talk sometimes, not the deep kind, the particular kind that the bar allows, the particular kind that two people who've been at the same bar for the same year somehow find themselves in. The particular topics of the regular, growing old at the same bar together, is the particular kind of singular together, without the name of together. Growing old at the same bar together is the most particular kind of witness. Growing old at the same bar together is the most particular kind of fitness for the particular thing that bars provide. Growing old at the same bar together is the kind of friendship that bars make. Growing old at the same bar together is the particular kind of stake. He retired last spring. He still comes on Thursdays. The same end of the bar, the same particular ways of holding the glass, the same particular nod. Growing old at the same bar together is the most particular kind of odd comfort of the not alone. Growing old at the same bar together is the most particular kind of known, without the knowing everything, just the Thursday, just the same end of the bar. Growing old at the same bar together, but the particular is enough, more than enough. Growing old at the same bar together, still Thursday, still the same end of the bar, still the nod, still the year, still both of us, still here. She told me once she loved me in October, standing in the rain outside my building door. I said I know, and went inside without her. I didn't understand what she was asking for. I was 28 and full of my own story, too busy with the narrative of me to hear the particular weight of what she offered, standing in the rain so quietly. I understood the words but not the meaning. The meaning takes years to understand. She was handing me the whole of something, and I took it like a casual second hand. The love I did
that doesn't wait indefinitely for the one who isn't ready. The love I didn't understand then was the real thing, steady. Taught me what I know. I heard she's somewhere living well now, married to someone who understood. I hope he holds the weight of what she offers, the way the younger me never could. I'm not sad about it more than I'm instructed by the memory of the rain and what I missed. The love I didn't understand then is the clearest teacher that I've kissed. Understanding comes when it's ready, and it wasn't ready at 28. Now I understand exactly what she offered, standing in the rain outside my gate. The love I didn't understand then, I understand it now, too late. The love I didn't understand then was the kind that doesn't wait. If I could go back to that October evening, I wouldn't say I know and turn away. I'd stand out in the rain a little longer and understand the weight of what you say. When you say I love you to a person who hasn't yet learned what love weighs. The love I didn't understand then is the love I learned from in the days and months and years of the after, of understanding what I missed. The love I didn't understand then is the one I still think of like this. The love I didn't understand then, standing in the rain, still standing. I understand now, too late. But I understand. After the last customer leaves, the bar becomes itself completely. The chairs go up and the lights come down, and
and the bartender moves through it discreetly, doing the closing without the audience of the regular or the occasional. After the last customer leaves, the bar is at its most devotional to its own particular nature. After the last customer leaves is the bar's most honest hour. After the last customer leaves is the bar's most particular kind of power, of the unobserved, of the itself. After the last customer leaves is the bar I've never seen. After the last customer leaves is what the bar has always been. Underneath the customers, the bar itself. After the last customer leaves is the bar on the shelf of the pure without the performance. After the last customer leaves is the bar's most particular kind of dormant beauty. I imagine it sometimes, the bar after I've left it for the evening. The chairs going up, the lights coming down, the particular kind of breathing the bar does alone after the last customer leaves is the bar returning to itself from the particular service. After the last customer leaves is the bar earning its rest. After the last customer leaves is the bar at its best version of the particular quiet. After the last customer leaves is the bar I've never seen. After the last customer leaves is what the bar has always been. The bar gives something to every customer, the warmth and the particular light. After the last customer leaves, the bar gives itself the night to be quiet and to be still. After the effort of the being, after the last customer leaves is the most worth the seeing. If you ever could see it, the bar completely itself. After the last customer leaves is the bar on the shelf of the beautiful ordinary, of the unobserved. After the last customer leaves, the bar rests. I imagine it resting after all of us have taken from it, resting until Thursday, until we come back and it gives again.
53, the question changes from what do I want to get to what do I still have to give, the particular kind of reset of the orientation of the living, from the taking of the years to the particular kind of giving that the later years allow. What I have left to give is the